Happy Monday to the Ungovernables, the captain's crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. And it's not just a Monday. It's not just a MAGA Monday. But for the first time this NFL season, for anybody who happens to be a Jets fan, it's a Victory Monday. I head to the freaking bunkers. Get down. Because
here we go.
The Jets won a game. And they were down 14 points in the in the fourth quarter. Okay, if you are a Bengals fan, you need to somebody's got to get fired for that. All right? If you're the Cincinnati Bengals, this is not a sports show, Sean. It's bread and circuses. The whole thing is rigged. Let me have my fun.
The sass.
Let me have my fun. Okay? Not only am I celebrating a New York Jets win yesterday, but Martinsville, baby, here it is. William freaking Byron, Liberty University's own William Byron, won and got himself into the championship 4 yesterday. Hello. So from a sports weekend, the Islanders were the only team that let me down, and that's okay because we still got a point in Philly. But hey, we have my New York Jets now have a 1-game winning streak. You got to start somewhere. Oh, okay. We're not going to be doing sports this morning, but I felt like getting all of that off my chest because if you watch the Rumble Rundown on Saturday, I was not happy, nor was I confident in the Jets, and I was not confident in William Byron's chances, obviously because it was basically win and get in. But now William Byron and Kyle Larson of Hendrick Motorsports will be racing against Joe Gibbs Racing, Chase Briscoe, and Denny Hamlin, not Danny, for the championship in Phoenix. So if you're William Byron, you better have Kevin Harvick on speed dial because he had the secret to winning in Phoenix. Anyway, we're not going to do sports today. We're not. But I had to start off with that because, you know what? Because the sports wins made me happy, okay? The sports wins made me happy yesterday. It was a good weekend, even though the Jets are still 1-7. The Owen jokes are over for the rest of the year, so that's nice. All right, we're going to get to the left completely losing the plot this morning. They have lost the plot. I thought they loved free stuff. The left.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, the left.
That whole time?
Apparently, the left.
No one heard my sass?
No, nobody heard the sass. Nobody heard the sass.
Wow.
Apparently, the left doesn't like free stuff anymore, right? Because Donald Trump is building this ballroom for free. It's not costing us anything to build this ballroom. He is paying for it himself. But apparently, the left is like, no, this looks like 9/11. I don't know. How many ballrooms did they build on 9/11? I don't remember.
I'm a big fat zero.
Remember, a bunch of Muslims took down a bunch of buildings on 9/11. And miss me with the bull crap about the Jews, please. Because, boy, have I had it with that, okay? And someone's going to say it in the chat. It is what it is. Whatever. It was an inside job. Okay. Let me give you some aluminum foil. Maybe the heavy-duty aluminum foil. Now, the ballroom that Donald Trump has built, what do we call it? Where is it? Yes, it is. Where's your crown, king? Nothing. There it is. Donald Trump's royal court. Okay? Look at that right there. I can't do it. There we go. Let's put that over there. The royal court. Donald Trump's royal court. The ballroom is going to be Donald Trump's royal court. I was going to let this go. But then again, it's been a rather slow time in the news, which happens, ebbs and flows. It is what it is. There's plenty. There's just not big stuff, but there's plenty of stuff, right? There's always stuff happening. But Donald Trump decided to build this ballroom, and the left, like they went crazy. Oh my gosh, look what he's doing. He's destroying the White House. He's not going to leave it looking like that. But here's the thing. I was going to let it go. All right, the left will melt down a couple days. It is what it is. I was thinking about, where's my notepad? I was thinking about doing a bit, about the Royal Ballroom. I went on Tik Tok Live and we wrote it together and we got all these things. I drew out a whole joke-like diagram. I'm not going to show you exactly what it is because I don't want anybody stealing it because the internet is a place where theft happens often. But I have a game plan. And I said, I'm just going to let it go because how much longer could they possibly be whining about, and that's what it is, they're whining and melting down about the ballroom. Well, they're still whining about the ballroom. Even his flatulence, Eric Swalwell, we call him his flatulence. We call his mistress, remember Fang Fang? I call her Chinese takeout, right? You call her Chinese roast pork roll and that little egg roll, right?
A roll.
And Rook out.
Rook out.
But Swalwell is now saying, oh, well, if you want the Democrat nominee, you have to pledge to destroy the ballroom. Okay. So now maybe I shouldn't let it go. Right? Maybe I shouldn't let it go. By the way, 3 out of 4 verses are written for Gilligan's Island. Next time we smoke a drug boat in international waters, we're going to run with that. So that'll be a lot of fun. But this ballroom thing, it must be, their reaction to the ballroom must be mocked into oblivion at this point. I was going to let it go. We got elections coming up in 8 days around the country. Virginia, New Jersey. I don't love our chances. But it's not over. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. Okay? And tell your friends to get out and vote. You got New York City as well. That race looks like it's just about over. Again, don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Exercise your right to vote. But it looks like Zohran Mamdani, 92% chance on Kalshi, which is kind of what we were saying, since June. And I got called a hater and negative. And I'm just a realist, guys. I'm just a realist. I don't always say what you want to hear, but I'll always tell you what I believe to be true. And that method seems to have a pretty damn good track record, okay? But here we are on the 27th day of October. We are 8 days away from off-year elections taking place in Jersey, in Virginia, in New York City. Local elections taking place all around the country, obviously, and it is time to see. It's going to be very interesting to see what Republican participation looks like in the off-year election. This is going to be what I'm looking for. Right? I'm looking for wins. I'd like to see wins. I'd like to see upsets in places like Virginia, in places like New Jersey. I mean, if it happens in New York City, it will definitely be a miracle. Okay, which remains in the cards. Miracles do happen. But, unlikely. But I'm looking to see what type of participation we see because I want to see a couple of things. Everyone talks about this quote-unquote divide on the right, with the anti-Jew and the quote-unquote America First caucus of the Republican Party or Republican voters. Which is it really America First when all they do is talk about Israel? I'm very curious. You're like, I care about America, but everything they do is Israel, 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 Israel. Okay, so then do you really care about America or do you care about the country the size of New Jersey that you think is running the world? I think it's a valid question. But it's going to be interesting to see how much of an impact that had. Is there robust participation on the right side? Can we extrapolate from that a pattern that could possibly dictate how the 2026 midterms go? By the way, Prop 50 in California, I believe, is up for a vote coming up on November 4th. You got to vote no on that if you're from Cali. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is no friend of ours, right? No friend of MAGA is like, you have to stop the redistricting. Like it's freaking, no, do it now. So we have off-year elections coming. Let's see what the participation looks like. Let's hope and pray for some upsets and get out the vote between now and then. And early vote. Embrace early voting. Remember, if you say something like, early voting only gives the Democrats what they need to cheat, you're stupid. I'm sorry. Okay? And I know there's going to be people, don't call me stupid. Okay. Did we or did we not, as a movement, MAGA, last year in the 2025 election, embrace early voting? We did. Yeah. Did Donald Trump win or lose the election? He won. Okay? If, as many people theorized, who were dead wrong, if that theory of you're giving the Democrats what they need to cheat was true, Donald Trump would have lost. Because across the country, including in all 7 swing states, which he swept, we embraced early voting, right? And Donald Trump won, right? Right. That's not to say there wasn't fugaziness in some of the elections around the country, but I don't think that had anything to do with early voting because we had embraced early voting this time. We didn't embrace early voting in 2020. We didn't embrace early voting in 2022. And we still wound up losing those close races with some of the fugaziness, okay? What does early voting do? Early voting, obviously, and Laura Trump explained this a year ago, early voting allows, if you're a likely voter, you go out, you vote early on the first day of early voting, the campaign gets that data, they say, oh, Sean Farish already voted? He's no longer a likely voter, he's a voted voter. We don't have to call him and tell him to vote anymore. We can move on to somebody who may not know there's an election coming up. This is how you swell your numbers. Embrace early voting. Bank your vote. There's going to be some bad weather coming through the country this week. What if that happens next week? All right, what if that happens next week in Virginia? What if that happens next week in New Jersey? What if that happens next week in places like California? What, do you just stay home because it's raining? Go out and bank your vote. Make sure you get it in the bank. And if anybody's out there saying, that's just going to give the Democrats what they need to cheat, tell them they're stupid, okay? You're a stupid person if you say that because you've already been proven wrong. That's not how it works. We watched how it worked last year. If you were right, we would have got smoked last year. Okay? Make it too big to rig and embrace all 3 phases of the game. All 3 phases of the game. You don't want to vote by mail? You don't feel safe doing that? Fine. Vote in person early or request an absentee ballot and walk it into your county board of elections office and deliver it to where it's got to be delivered, to the right person so it doesn't get lost in the mail. Okay? Embrace all 3 phases. What do I like to do? I like to vote early in person. If it was up to me, all the voting would take place on one day with paper ballots. But it ain't up to me. It ain't up to all of us right now. The rules are the rules. We are given 3 ways to participate in elections. In person early, election day early, or vote by mail. In some states, you get all 3. In some states, you don't get all 3. In some states, you get 2. In some states, you get 1. Whichever ways are available to you in any state you live in, take advantage of all phases of it. All phases, okay? And early voting happens on the weekends. There was a weekend early voting surge in New Jersey, right? It's like, well, I have to go to work on election day. All right, vote on Saturday. No excuses. Vote. Okay. So we have all that coming up. We're going to get to the ballroom. We're going to get to a bunch of stuff. I got a couple of video clips. We got a little bit from Kamala Harris. We got. Did you see Trump in Malaysia? Did you?
Yes. I actually showed Sean.
She showed me.
Trump in Malaysia.
He was in Malaysia. She's like, did you see Trump with the Malaysian dancers? I was like, no, but I have to. It was really funny. So we'll get to all that and more. Before we do that, I want to get to, by the way, first half of the show on other platforms, full show on Rumble. That's the way it is. Some people are complaining about it. Don't complain. Just go to rumble.com/LFA TV to get the full show. Yeah. It's not like I'm taking it away and putting it behind a paywall. Okay? It's on rumble.com/LFA TV. That's all you got to do.
Easy.
Rumble.com/LFA TV. Make a Rumble account. Jump in our chat. Say, hey, I came from YouTube. Hey, I came from X. And we'll give you like a standing ovation.
He's helping you keep up with the times.
That's it. We're keeping up with the times. And we're, look at this. All right. Let's get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms before we get to the left melting down over the ballroom, which is hysterical. Exciting news from OFP Farms. Enjoy 20% off right now with the code Shawn, SHAWN, during their end of October sale. If you're interested in stocking up on America's favorite soap, do not hesitate. Explore this special offer. Take a moment to browse the fantastic selection from OFP Farms, renowned for its natural ingredients, the skin-nourishing benefits of tallow and goat milk, and a heartfelt commitment to farm to family skincare. Whether you seek gentle skincare solutions or thoughtful gifts, OFP products combine expert care with strong values, enhancing your daily routine. Do not let this opportunity pass you by. Enjoy premium products that support your health and ethical choices for your entire family. finally, use the code Sean, SHAWN, to get 20. Where is it? My Goat Kisses lip balm in my pocket. 20% off of this type of stuff here. This is the chapstick killer. Crapstick is what I call it. It's owned by Pfizer. This is owned by our friends Denise and Corey, who you often see in the chat. Okay? Often see in the chat. Denise and Corey, OFP Farms, Goat Kisses lip balm. It is the best stuff in the game. It is the best stuff in the game. OFPfarms.com. Use the promo code Sean, SHAWN, Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey November. That's OFPfarms.com. Promo code Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey November for 20% off of everything on the website. That is OFPfarms.com. You see it on your screen. OFPfarms.com. This offer ends on October 31st. 20% off ends on October 31st. We're so close to November, which means I can look forward to going on a Thanksgiving tear when it comes to food. I've been very good with my keto diet.
My birthday month.
It's Brennan's birthday month. We've got a ton of things going on in November, as if we needed more things to do. It's going to be a good day and a good month and a good rest of the year.
Long 31-day day.
It's going to be a really
How many days are in November?
What's that?
How many days are in
A
November?
30? I don't know. There's a rhyme that I never remembered.
Me either.
So
I never learned it.
we'll just see what it is. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get to the ballroom. All right. The left is melting down over the Trump ballroom. Did you know? What is the? Let me ask this. Let me ask this in the live chat. We're gonna be, because this isn't. All right. The stories that are out there today aren't things that I can really dive into, analytically. We did Title 10, and here's how our rescissions package works, and these are all good things. But I want to get into the live chat real quick. What is the one thing that the left loves to compare things that Donald Trump does to? Right? Think January 6th. Really, it was January 6th was the 2016. Right? Donald Trump talking about elections, all that. What is the one thing that the left loves to compare Trump's actions to, right? Think January 6th, though. Think January 6th. That's the worst attack on our country since. Think. What is it? Bless you.
Thank you.
Well, that is the one. That is what is the one? What is the one? Say Marx Madness is Nazi, almost Nazi. Let's see. Hitler. All right, Hitler. Okay, you got okay, that's a person. All right. There it is. Jackie's got it. Little patriot. 1/6/2021. Gee, wonder what she means by that.
Oh.
Good day for her, by the way. 9/11. That was it. It was September 11th. That's the one that they always like to compare it to. So, did you know that building a new ballroom is also 9/11? Because that's what they're trying to tell you. ABC, who cannot get out of their own way. How much money have they given Donald Trump now? What, $16 million because of George Slopadopoulous? Look at this beast. Look at this beast of a woman here. So an ABC contributor compares the White House East Wing renovation to September 11th Pentagon wreckage. Quote, it feels almost the same as when I saw the Pentagon damage on 9/11, except people didn't die. How could they get away with even saying this? How could you even think saying this is a good idea? Political commentator Tara Setmeyer faced heavy backlash online after comparing President Donald Trump's White House renovation project to the September 11th terrorist attacks, namely the one on the Pentagon. Setmeyer, a former CNN commentator, ABC News contributor, and GOP communications director on Capitol Hill, posted an aerial image showing demolition work on the East Wing, which is being renovated under Trump's direction. In her post, she wrote, quote, it feels almost the same as when I saw the Pentagon damage on 9/11. Okay. To anybody who knows somebody who passed away on 9/11 in any of the, in any way, right? Whether it was on September 11th, 2001, whether it was in New York City, whether it was in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, right, with United 93, whether it was in Washington, D.C., or after the fact, for all those chemicals you got exposed to and the cancers and the infections and the diseases that came out of that. This has to be incredibly offensive to you, okay? Look at this picture. This is, okay, it looks like a demolition zone. It looks like construction. It looks like work being done. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? But they're comparing it to the Pentagon on 9/11. The comment drew widespread outrage on X, where her post has been viewed more than 6 million times. Federalist editor-in-chief Molly Hemingway, who's amazing, by the way, said, quote, the left is unable to mentally distinguish between Islamic terrorism that kills thousands and building improvements. Horrific break with reality that we're watching here. This is what they have to do. They don't like the fact that Donald Trump is making an upgrade to the White House, to the Capitol. By the way, he's paying for it himself. They're like, this is 9/11. What am I missing here? How is Donald Trump building a new ballroom 9/11? How is it even close? Can you list the 3,000 people who died when Donald Trump decided to tear down the East Wing and upgrade the White House and add it's a big, beautiful ballroom. You look at it for my big, beautiful balls. That's what we're doing. No. How? You can make these comparisons all the time and go, oh my gosh, look at the rubble. It looks like the Pentagon. You know what's missing from that rubble? Dead people. That's what's missing from that rubble, right? You need to explain to me, Tara Setmeyer and anybody else who's making these comparisons, it looks like 9/11 in Washington, D.C. You need to explain to me how on earth you're making that comparison when the lack of dead bodies is present in this renovation, but were absolutely present in the attack on the Pentagon on September 11th, 2001. Where are the 3,000 plus Americans who were killed? They're not there because it wasn't a terrorist attack. It is an upgrade. It is construction. Construction happens all the time. Barack Obama tore up the White House grounds to put a basketball court on the grounds. And they were like, yeah, President Obama, black president, putting a basketball court on there. Woohoo, let's go Obama. Great president. Okay, fine. You celebrated that. You celebrated a basketball court. But you're not celebrating a free ballroom? Hold on, I thought the left loved free stuff. What happened to that? They're like, well, Donald Trump is doing it for himself. Does it matter? He's doing it for free. The government's not spending a dime on this. He's doing it for free. And this is what free actually looks like, right? You know, they always want to say, oh, government-funded healthcare, taxpayer-funded healthcare is free healthcare. No, it's not. It's taxpayer-funded, which means we do pay for it, right? So the left is going to have to make a very clear explanation. The left is going to have to explain to me how Donald Trump paying for a renovation and a construction project from his own money of the East Wing of the White House to turn it into a ballroom, which is not just going to benefit his presidency, but everybody that comes after him. The left is going to have to explain to me how building a new room and renovating the East Wing of the White House is the same thing as 9/11, where 3,000 plus people died on that day and after that day. Someone's going to have to make that explanation to me. And why now is the left all of a sudden against free things? Again, Donald Trump is paying for this out of his own pocket, which is, by the way, why it's getting done for the cost that it's getting done at. Because, once the government gets involved, it's like, the Federal Reserve, the costs go through the roof like a rocket ship, right? It's a big, beautiful, free ballroom. It's actually a royal court. And our jesters are going to be Crying Chuck and El Hakima, Jefe, right? You look at El Hakima, they're going to be wearing sombreros instead of jester hats. Very stupid people who have a problem with it. I don't get it. So they love free stuff unless Donald Trump gives them free stuff. And the free stuff is what? Free stuff that's reminiscent of what? Nazis or 9/11 or Pearl Harbor or the Civil War or something? It's racist. I don't know. I'm just trying to hit all the buzzwords that they hit. Ridiculous. They've completely lost the plot. Speaking of losing the plot, Eric Swalwell is now saying anybody who's a Democrat who's going to run for president, He's now saying this is the criteria that one has to meet in order to get the Democrat nomination from the DNC, Eric Swalwell. Eric Swalwell. So this is an article here on Red State Nicaragua. Great guy. Good writer. He does a lot here. And here we go. Don't even think of seeking the Democrat nomination for president unless you pledge to take a wrecking ball to the Trump ballroom on day one. Okay. So this is a guy who was like, okay, January 6th was the worst attack on our country. And this is a guy who banged the Chinese spy and then pretended like it never happened. Look at this. Look at this right here. Don't even think of seeking the Democratic nomination for president unless you pledge to take a wrecking ball to the Trump ballroom on day one. So this guy is giving you a ballroom for free, not charging the taxpayer, and Eric Swalwell wants to destroy it. So he wants to cost the taxpayer. This is peak TDS. This is peak TDS. Eric Swalwell wants to destroy something that Donald Trump gave him for free. It's like, could you imagine if Donald Trump did like, what he was saying, those tariff stimulus checks, right? Like the MAGA rebate or whatever he was going to call it, right? And leftists were like, I don't want it. And they started ripping up the checks. That's what this is like. So Swalwell wants Democrats to run on wrecking something that we got for free. Something that even the Washington Post editorial board said that the country needs. That even Biden and Obama officials were acknowledging privately was needed. This is going to be, if Swalwell has his way, one of the pieces of criteria that needs to be met in order to get the Democrat National Committee's nomination for president? Okay. I mean, fine. So you want to like blow up a portion of the White House because Donald Trump built it with his own money? Who's going to name it after himself? I mean, you should name it after Charlie Kirk. That'd be nice. But if he names it after himself, I mean, he kind of has the right to do it. It's his effing money. Imagine being that petty and that wrapped up in this TDS virus that these leftists have. Could you imagine being Eric Swalwell? Just for a second. Fang aside. Being somebody that dumb. Whew. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. All right, let's get to... We'll take a quick break. We're halfway through. We're halfway there. Whoa! Let's get to a word from... These people are absolutely nuts. Look at the chat. Look at them. Swalwell is jealous because he will never be president and will never be able to use it. It's true. We need to... I agree with... Who is that? Who just said that there? Adna... Okay. ADNA WNA MPAHC. Okay. Classify TDS as a mental illness, then open asylums and do mandatory inpatient treatment. Small room, big needle. Long nap. That's always
Honestly,
snake.
that sounds nice.
I could use that right now. Honestly.
Padded room.
I would love a padded room. Well, I don't need the padded room, I don't think.
Yeah, because you can sleep anywhere.
Yeah, but I'm saying I could use somebody to inadvertently hit me with a long needle right now and put me down for about a week. I'll tell you. It's just been nuts. Anyway, let's get to a word from our friends over at Old Glory Bank. It's Old Glory Bank. You know, I love these guys. They're great people. Great people! We love these people. They would never tear down the ballroom. You know that? They might build another ballroom. This is your favorite president. You know who I'm talking about, Donald J. Trump, and I'm here to tell you about Old Glory Bank. These are great people. The premier bank for faith and freedom. You've heard me talk about how the big crooked banks debanked me and our beautiful first lady following the rigged election. It was totally rigged of 2020. Thankfully, there is a bank that loves your favorite president as much as I love your favorite president, which means a lot. You think about it, nobody loves me as much as I do. Old Glory Bank, they don't debank Americans who love their country and honor the Constitution. These are great people, and you should become a customer today. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard me talk about Old Glory Bank. Old Glory Bank is America's best online bank that serves customers and small businesses in all 50 states. I'm a customer. My wife is a customer.
I am.
They have everything you need to bank online, including free accounts, free overdraft protection, early direct deposit, home loans, VA loans, and business loans. CEO of that bank has been on our show, by the way, and we'll have him on again soon. That's why Old Glory Bank quickly grew from $10 million to over $225 million in deposits. Your money is your business. Open an account today in minutes at oldglorybank.com. That is oldglorybank.com. Look, I'm not even asking you to buy anything. It's a free account. It takes 5 minutes to open. 5 minutes to open a free account at oldglorybank.com. So head over to oldglorybank.com. Oldglorybank.com. No promo code, nothing. Just oldglorybank.com. Set up a free account today. Oldglorybank.com. All right, let's see. Let's get to... No, we're not going to get to any clips before we do this. Let's do a word from our friends at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. It's goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
Hey everybody, Jeremy Harrell here. Look, I want to talk to you a little bit about gold and silver. When I was a kid, I always wondered what Fort Knox must look like. And when I was a kid, I always envisioned that when you would walk into Fort Knox, you would see just gold everywhere, literally raining gold, kind of like what you see behind me right now. Unfortunately, as a grown-up, I don't have that kind of imagination anymore, and I don't even have that much trust that Fort Knox has the 5,000 tons of gold that we're supposed to have there. Meaning that decades ago, we went off the gold standard in this country, which took the value of our dollar down to just mere pennies. And since our federal government doesn't want to go back to a gold standard currency, then it's time to us to take matters into our own hands. Have you ever thought about buying gold and silver? Have you ever thought about taking portions of your IRA or your 401k or your nest egg or your savings and putting it into gold and silver, either all or a portion of it? Have you ever wanted to purchase silver like this in bullion or premium? I know I do. And I know I wanted to take matters back into my own hands, which is why I have worked with Golden Crest Metals to do that. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA is going to be your go-to, absolutely transparent and trusted partner. Now, you can go to that website or you can call 888-308-4202. And what the good thing about this is they're going to guide you. They're going to talk to you. They're going to guide you. They're going to give you all the answers to your questions. And there's going to be no hidden fees. It's completely transparent. No hidden fees. No pressure, no surprise markups whatsoever. Clients get to see everything before they purchase. They've even agreed to lower the minimum investment to the LFA audience in order to make sure that everybody has access to this. Free IRA storage, free insured shipping, and a full range of precious metals from gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. And if it's easier for you to just maybe click a QR code, well, guess what? We've got that available for you too. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Click this QR code on your screen and it'll take you right there. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA. Again, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA, or call 888-308-4202 today to reach these guys. They're going to be a great partner for you, just as they have been for me, and we absolutely recommend here at LFA TV, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA.
That is goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Golden Crest Metals, for being a part of the show. All right, I have to, unfortunately, tell you guys, if you're watching over on X and you're watching over on YouTube, we have to say goodbye to you. Go to rumble.com/LFA TV for the full show. Rumble.com/LFA TV for the full show. Goodbye to YouTube.